Bhakta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Shirabai Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki ISKCON DVT Founder His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Hari Nama Sankirtan Ki Grantarajma Bhagavatam Ki Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Nischa Sri Rupam Sadhujatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sadevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Panchakrayam Mudiraya. Some other math. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nastataya Sabhadreshu Sri Advaita Gradhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Mukam Karoti Vasaram Tangom Langayate Girim Yakripa Tamaham Bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Yakripa Tamaham Bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our Bhagavatam class. New location for our Bhagavatam class. I have to look. We are now in A, B, C, D, Section D. Section D of the Sayadri Parashuram Gurukula in Sayadri Golokadham in Dakshin Vrindavan. Yes, Parashuram Kshetra in the district of Udupi, South Karnataka. And we have just recently relocated here. Therefore, there was a little interruption in our Bhagavatam class, which we were giving in the early morning. It will take a little time before we get back to the morning program. We are having this class today in the somewhat late afternoon. And we might be adjusting a little bit the time. We will inform everyone. So, when we sit here, we can understand that actually our land, at least here, is sloping east. Yeah? East is there. East is there, yeah. Northeast. Northeast, yeah. So, at SSKBK, which is 10 minutes walking distance from here, the devotees have been reading from the 4th canto of the Bhagavatam, so as not to compete with the devotees at SSKBK, or to overlap in the reading and the study of the Bhagavatam. We will begin a new section of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And I just happened to take the 7th canto of the Bhagavatam. So we will begin today, yes. We will begin from the first chapter of the 7th canto, which is entitled "The Supreme Lord is Equal to Everyone." This, of course, is a canto that has, especially at the end, actually the last 5 chapters of this canto, rather, are very important because they deal especially with Varnashrama Dharma, the instructions given by Srila Narada Muni. So we will gradually work our way towards those chapters. And of course, this covers the story of Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu, and the wonderful prayers offered by Prahlad, and the exalted position of Prahlad Maharaj. So this is text number 1. Sri Rajuvacha Samaha Priyaha Surid Brahman Bhutanam Bhagavan Swayam Indrasyarte Katham Daityan Avadid Vishamo Yatha Sri Rajuvacha Samapriya Surid Brahman Bhutanam Bhagavan Swayam Indrasyartam Daityan Avadid Vishamo Yatha Sri Rajuvacha Samapriya Surid Brahman Bhutanam Bhagavan Swayam Indrasyarte Katham Daityan Avadid Vishamo Yatha Sri Rajuvacha Samapriya Surid Brahman Bhutanam Bhagavan Swayam Indrasyarte Katham Daityan Avadid Vishamo Yatha Sri Raja Uvacha Maharaj Parikshit said, Samaha, equal, Priyaha, beloved, Surit, friend, Brahman, O Brahmana, Shukadeva, Bhutanam, toward all living entities, Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, Swayam, himself, Indrasya, of Indra, arte, for the benefit, katham, how, daityan, the demons, avadhit, avadhit, killed, vishamaha, partial, yatha, as if. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swamy, Srila Prabhupada Ki. King Parikshit inquired, my dear Brahmana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, being everyone's well-wisher, is equal and extremely dear to everyone. How then did he become partial like a common man for the sake of Indra and thus kill Indra's enemies? How can a person equal to everyone be partial to some and inimical towards others? Kind of repeat after me. King Parikshit inquired, my dear Brahmana, for the sake of Indra, and thus kill Indra's enemies. How can a person equal to everyone be partial to some and inimical toward others? Purport. In Bhagavad Gita 9:29, the Lord says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyosti priyaha. I am equal to everyone. No one is dear to me, nor is anyone my enemy. In the previous canto, however, it has been observed that the Lord sided with Indra by killing the demons on his account. Hataputra diti chatra parshini grahina vishnuna. Therefore the Lord was clearly partial to Indra, although he is the super soul in everyone's heart. The soul is externally dear. The soul is extremely dear to everyone. And similarly, the super soul is also dear to everyone. Thus, there cannot be any faulty action on the part of the super soul. The Lord is always kind to all entities, irrespective of form and condition. Yet, he took the side of Indra, just like an ordinary friend. This was the subject of Parikshit Maharaj's inquiry. As a devotee of Lord Krishna, to confirm his conviction, he wanted to hear from the authority, Shukadeva Goswami. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Samasya katham Vaishamam. Since the Lord is equally disposed toward everyone, how can he be partial? Priyasya katham asureshu priya bhavaha. The Lord, being the super soul, is extremely dear to everyone. Is impartial. Suridaya. Plus Chakatham Teshvasau Hardam. Since the Lord says that he is Suridam Sarvabhutanam, the well-wisher of all living entities, how could he act with partiality by killing demons? These questions arose in the heart of Parikshit Maharaj, and therefore he inquired from Shukadeva Goswami. The translation again. King Parikshit inquired, my dear Brahmana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, being everyone's well-wisher, is equal and extremely dear to everyone. How then did he become partial like a common man for the sake of Indra and thus kill Indra's enemies. How can a person equal to everyone be partial to some and inimical towards others? So this is the beginning of this canto and the beginning of this particular chapter entitled The Supreme Lord is Equal to Everyone. This particular question, which is being asked by Parikshit Maharaj, is of course a valid question because as mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in the purport in the previous canto, the Lord was taking seemingly the side of Indra by killing his enemies. So of course, in the course of this chapter, this will be discussed more in detail. What is important here is that, again, as mentioned by Prabhupada, Parikshit Maharaj is already a very elevated and advanced devotee. And he knows that Krishna, or that the Lord, is impartial. Yet he is asking the question to reconfirm or to get further insights. So the whole Bhagavatam, as we know, is very much this kind of exchange between devotees, very often between advanced devotees. Yudhishthira Maharaj is a very advanced devotee, and he will, at the end of this chapter, rather at the end of the canto, he will also be asking questions to Narada Muni. So, those who are advanced personalities like Shukadeva Goswami, who is actually speaking the Bhagavatam, they have insights and understandings that are of a deeper nature than the common ordinary, let's say, devotees. That is why Srila Prabhupada is very regularly in this translation of the Bhagavatam referring to various commentaries from the different acharyas who give further and deeper understandings of the Lord and his, we could say, unchanging and eternal nature, in particular here, as being the foremost well-wisher of all living entities. And of course, this may be coming up in some of the purports. If not, Srila Prabhupada, I'm sure we have heard, or you have heard this example of the High Court judge. So the High Court judge, he has to sit and hear different cases every day. That's his job. And according to the evidence that is presented to him, sometimes he will, excuse someone, and sometimes he will give a very heavy punishment. He might even sentence somebody to death. But that does not mean that he is partial to one and impartial to another. Based on justice, based on the law of justice, which is actually dharma. So based on dharma, one has to sometimes act in a different way. And those who don't understand dharma, they will tend to judge differently. Of course, from Bhagavad Gita, and that is why Bhagavad Gita, reading of Bhagavad Gita, studying Bhagavad Gita is so important, that the Lord's birth or appearance in the material world and the Lord's activities in the material world they are all transcendental. Janma karma same divyam evam jogati tattvataha tattva deham punar janma naitimam eti sorjana. So the Lord is the well-wisher of all living entities, but at times He may act differently depending on circumstances, and of course it is all in relation to principles of dharma. So in this way the Bhagavatam actually is an expose or a presentation or an in-depth study of the principles of dharma. And therefore, when I first came across this one verse, which we find in this canto actually, in the 11th chapter of the 7th canto, one of the important instructions given by Srila Narada Muni is that one who is a devotee, the characteristic of someone who is a devotee is that he will be meditating, he will be trying to deepen his understanding of the principles of dharma. So therefore that nice verse is quoted by Narada Muni. Dharma mulam hi bhagavan sarva vedamayo harihi smritam cha tadvidam rajan yena chatma prasidati. That we understand from Shastra, we can only understand actually by referring to Shastra, that the essence of Shastra is Hari or Bhagavan, and that is a conclusion, as Krishna also confirms in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedaisya sarvar aham eva vedyo vedantakrit vedavid eva chaham. And therefore, it is meant to be the life and soul of all devotees. And that is why we are meant to have a Bhagavatam class every day. And we didn't for the last few days. And actually, we're having this class today due to the mercy of Kinkini Prabhu. Oh, yeah, because he came here yesterday and he said, Maharaj, what happened to the Bhagavatam class? Why not consider having it in the afternoon? And then I said immediately, Krishna has inspired you. I didn't say that, but it's what actually happened. And then I was mentioning how when we have our Varnashram college, as we will be doing in January, we might start a little earlier with some devotees coming from Pune. But because of many different activities in the morning, we were having our Bhagavatam class in the afternoon. And of course, if we look back in Vrindavan, the Goswamis of Vrindavan, they were having prolonged discourses on, Bhagavatam and other Vedic literatures in the afternoon. And in Bengal, in some places, they still follow this practice. But they may not be having it as late as we're doing it today, because I'm seeing now that I may not see you very soon, or for a long time, because it's getting dark. So this is our first day in actually having a class at this time, and of course, because I don't have a wall beside me which has a clock to tell me what time it is. And I gave my cell phone a few minutes ago to someone who didn't give it back to me. So whenever somebody hands you a cell phone, it's a very good habit to give it back as soon as possible. Otherwise, yeah. Yeah. So it's already 6:13, means 45 minutes down the line here. So, should we start the Bhagavatam class just a little bit earlier tomorrow? Like 5:15? Any thoughts? Or 5? Actually 5. Let's try 5:15 because the days will stop becoming shorter this month, right? There will be a reverse will be taking place. The 21st of December is the shortest day of the year, and then slowly, gradually, the days will start, you know. So, yeah. So we will try tomorrow for, let's say, 5:15, and we'll announce accordingly like this. So any particular thoughts or comments on today's verse? This beginning exchange or question which is being asked here by Parikshit Maharaj. Two hands came up and went up at the same time, but anyways, yours stayed up, yeah.
Actually, he is telling us that we should start from, can we start from first canto Bhagavatam?
Can we start from the first canto of the Bhagavatam? Of course. Yes. Actually, that will give me some time to find my missing fourth canto. I have two cantos that are missing. I mean, my library, is that from the... No, but there are two different printings that are different. Anyways, I'll look at this. We could do that since it's a request from those who are living locally here. For the pleasure of Raghava Prabhu and his family, and I'm sure all the devotees, we could do that, yes. Kinkini Prabhu, your hand was also up.
Indra also had some kind of desire to have a kingdom or one king of the Pandava. So he has also desire. Whereas Vritasura is a devil. Ultimately, the few devotee before life. So how to understand that? How the Lord is equal to like contradict because he has a desire, but that he killed.
Your question is going back now to the sixth canto.
Same is equal to in this case.
This will be explained actually. Your question is a very similar question to what Parikshit Maharaj is asking here. In the previous canto, when Krishna actually was who defeated Vritasura? Yes. So the idea is that when we understand the factual position of Krishna, and when we understand the context in which he is performing whatever activity he is doing, the Lord can never be. It may seem to be partial, may seem to be it's just like so many people, even in India, sometimes they accuse Krishna of being a thief, of being a woman hunter, of being so many things, isn't it? So when we see things from a material perspective, then we get a different understanding. So each situation needs to be evaluated on its own merit, and because we can't look at that whole situation right now, this is what is being pointed out here. Parishit Maharaj, he's asking this question, although he's already convinced that the Lord is impartial because he's the Lord. The Lord cannot be favoring one and against another. So one has to look at a particular situation from all different kinds of angles, and then one will gain a more clear understanding as to why the Lord, even when he acts in this way, there's a particular reason and a purpose that we would have to look at by, again, studying that particular lila more closely, which we cannot do right now. Yeah, 5:30 makes it very late to reach 6:30. Is and maybe even 5:15 might be. I think 5 o'clock, because our workers leave at 5, so immediately after they leave, we can have things set up and whatnot. Otherwise, if we start at 5:15, then within a couple of days we'll have to adjust again. So yeah, 5 o'clock. So tomorrow's class will be, well, I'm not sure if it's going to be here. I mean,